Let's get real on winnfm. Hi, this is Lavi. Let's get real Wednesday nights at 8 on winnfm. Get ready for an hour of real talk that will keep you engaged and informed, bringing you insights, the hottest topics of the moment, and perspectives that matter from the runway to the political arena. Real talk with Lavi covers it all. Let's get real Wednesday nights at 8 on winnfm. Let's get real on winnfm. Hi, this is Lavi. Let's get real Wednesday nights at 8 on winnfm. Get ready for an hour of real talk that will keep you engaged and informed, bringing you insights, the hottest topics of the moment, and perspectives that matter from the runway to the political arena. Real talk with Lavi covers it all. Let's get real Wednesday nights at 8 on winnfm. Let's get real on winnfm. Hi, this is Lavi. Let's get real Wednesday nights at 8 on winnfm. Get ready for an hour of real talk that will keep you engaged and informed, bringing you insights, the hottest topics of the moment, and perspectives that matter from the runway to the political arena. Real talk with Lavi covers it all. Let's get real Wednesday nights at 8 on winnfm. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to We'll Talk with Lavi. It's a beautiful Wednesday. And tonight, we are going to be talking about just being able to be yourself and also encouraging people. If you're born in St. Kitts and Nevis, is to celebrate where you come from. Celebrate where you came from. And if you're out there, wherever you live in, a diaspora, you're in New York, you're in Miami, you're in England, wherever you are, tonight on the Real Talk with Lavi, we are encouraging you to take some time, remember where you come from, and come back home. Come back home and celebrate where you come from. I hope tonight this is going to be able to help a number of persons who left St. Kitts decades ago. The importance of just being able to connect back to your roots and help be a part of your population and your country's growth. I know a lot of people are saying, oh, well, you're going back down St. Kitts for, well, listen, sometimes when we hear people speak about where we come from, and when you look at other persons and people who are coming and coming to beautiful St. Kitts and Nevis, you have to wonder. You have to wonder who is really missing out and the growth and the going and development of our beautiful islands, St. Kitts and Nevis. So tonight, again, the Real Talk with Lavi is good to just be here, knowing that we can, give some people some reminder and let people know that 2026, a lot of people, the space that we're in, many people was not able to be in that space. This is a whole different era, a whole different generation that we are so happy and blessed to be a part. So I am encouraging people, St. Kitts and Nevis, if you live down in the Virgin Islands, if you live in Jamaica, wherever you live in the U.S., and you're a U.S. citizen, if you live in Europe, and you have your citizenship, you live in St. Martin, wherever you are, and you carry a St. Kitts passport. People come home not just for carnival to celebrate. Don't just come home for a wedding. Don't just come home to bury a loved one, a friend. Come back home and be a part of your country's growth and development. We can take a pattern and look at other persons who are literally wanting to get a piece of our citizenship. And when they get a piece of the citizenship, it comes with land and all kind of things. And what we're seeing, many people are coming here, and within 5 years, and 5 years is a lot, within that 5 years, you see many people, their development and their growth, what they have done and achieved in our beautiful island, St. Kitts and Nevis. If you're just in tune, I am Lavi Gumbs, and I am from the wonderful, beautiful, sweet sugar city, land of beauty, land of the sugar mast, land of the music festival. Yes. So this is tonight's show. We're going to be basically, hoping to see if we can encourage anyone out there that are feeling down, depressed, or whatever negativity they will have been having about their country back in the days. People that got that because other people are coming, rushing to St. Kitts and Nevis. You see a lot of development going down with many of these people. You look in our neighborhood. You look in our neighborhoods now, places that used to be, yes, I come here very, very vibrant, because we don't get enough to hear things like these where people are being authentic, bringing their own, their own little essence, their own experience, and being able to express it to help someone else know that importance of celebrating where you come from. Why celebrate your home? Why celebrate your home? And if you're not celebrating it, somebody else is celebrating it. If you're just in tune, again, I am Lavi Gumbs, and I am from the beautiful island of St. Kitts and Nevis. And if you're out there and you want to be a part of this discussion tonight, you can call 466-0989
And if you're out there on the international world, you can call 718-285-6984. People have forgot my glasses tonight, and Tough House is in there laughing at me. I don't know why he's laughing at me. He said, Lavi, you're squinting, man. But, I could see a little bit. So we're going to do our show tonight. And I'm going to take some time out to big up none other than Tough House. I see Miss Annette Franks is in the house. It's given me a pleasure to see Miss Annette Franks. That's another lady, land up the soil, went overseas and come back. And we supposed to be able to celebrate our home. I don't care what party you support. I don't care what area you live in, St. Kitts. We are Kittitians, and we basically really supposed to enjoy a piece of our soil. People, our downfall is our own people, because a lot of people are not being their own authentic. But yet, we look at the international, the new world, which is the social media, where people are out there basically sharing all the different things that people are sending out. Some of these things that they're sharing, the same links, is what our locals would be doing. But for whatever reason, many people are saying that we do not like to see our own climb up the ladder. But on the Real Talk with Lavi, we're going to look at those that want to see us celebrate and climbing up the ladder. So let us look at the persons and the people out there that really want to see Kittitians do well. Let us forget about those who don't want to see Kittitians do well, because there's a number of persons out there that want to see Kittitians do well in their birth land. I know even in Jamaica, you hear the music, the musicians sing about that. I think Eric Donaldson, I'm not sure if that's the name, but there will be many musicians out there that sing songs. This is the land of my birth, sweet, sweet Jamaica, land of my birth. You have the late King Elimat that sings, St. Kitts is my born in land. He sings so much songs when it comes to St. Kitts. You have, again, the late King Arrow that sing about St. Kitts also. You have King Miko that actually sing about Nevis nice. Nevis nice, 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 nice. You have Mention and them, Sugar Band, New Vibes that will be singing one of the songs that really took them out there. Many songs, but Sugar, let's not forget Sugar and all those kind of stuff. So I just want to big up all the artists that continue to basically sing the songs that will promote St. Kitts and Nevis. Need not to forget Grandmasters and Small Axe Band. One in particular, Mr. Russ Kelly, where, he just was crowned Calypso Soca Monarch the year before. So I just got to continue bigging up anyone who are out there pushing the authentic and the realness of what St. Kitts and Nevis is all about. So once again, I got to say a pleasant good evening to you guys. Thank you so much for being here. And again, why celebrate our home? There's so much things that it's important that why we are celebrating our homes. For instance, our families, our friends, yes, gathered, we gathered together with people who know us and want the best, and our loved ones. And we celebrate together people that, for the longest of your life. As when you're born, you have your families, and this is why it's so important. If you leave Kitts and Nevis, wherever you are, or you find time to come back home and, again, not just come home for carnival and go in the streets and jam and jump up, but being able to own lands, being able to do business and operate in your hometown, your land of birth. We are seeing other persons coming in, taking over the moms and the pop shops. And the reason why many of them are doing that so well is because Kittitians and Nevisians now come home. They're comfortable where they are in other people's land, and they're not investing back into their land. So if you notice, when the politicians them go into office, what they do, we see them going out looking for investors outside, investors of another skin color. And half the time, those investors will come here and our locals really not benefiting. They're not really teaching us anything to help us grow to the next level so we can be able to own monies and create that generation wealth for our generation, our children, and being able to teach them how it is to make a dollar and build upon your dollar. As I say, one hand, full basket. If you're just in tune, please, you can also message and, let me know what you're thinking, what you feel about this talent, this topic tonight. Good evening to Mr. Douglas Shaw. Good night. It's good to have you here. I see a lot of Kititians on here tonight listening, and they know very well what Lavi Gumbs is speaking tonight on the Real Talk makes sense. We're encouraging people to come back home, not just to vote. Come back home and cement something so your children, your grandchildren can benefit. People, we need not just to have the money piled up, but we need to also start investing back in our own people. If you come here today as a Jamaican find Jamaican, and they go back and they invest in the Jamaicans, whether they're happy, whether they're sad, whether the food tastes good, whether the food not tastes good, they're going back where they're accustomed of eating. They're going back to their roots. What they're accustomed to is where they're going back to. Our Kititians, we welcome everybody, but we need to welcome ourselves more. We need to welcome our brothers, our sisters, our friends, our families, and help educate and help basically teach people to be themselves, to be their authentic, and to encourage other people. When they're doing good, encourage us. Don't wait until we don't do something bad. So we cannot just have a generation just to want to help people when they're down. But what happened to those that are trying to help themselves? So we're teaching people to fish. Are we teaching our locals enough to fish? And are we teaching them when they learn to fish to continue teaching them fishing? That way they will be able to be helping other people. As I said, the more independent people we have here in St. Kitts and Nevis, independent-minded people with high self-esteem, we're going to have a better nation. We're going to have the jails less with people, with our black people locked up over at HMP. And some of the things are minor things. Some of the things are things that they could have had a better choice of doing. So yes, I want to welcome home every Kititian. Good evening to Mr. Malcolm Grant. Mr. Malcolm Grant, good night to you. I wonder if that's my teacher, right? That's Mr. Malcolm Grant down there in St. Thomas, Virgin Islands. And I know there's a lot of people going to the U.S. They spend their time, they're retired, and many people will say, well, the healthcare system. But no matter what, no matter how healthcare system is, even if it's top-notch, when God is ready for you and God tell you this is the way how you're going to go, no amount of top-notch healthcare can keep you. When your time come, your time come. Yes. So again, I just want to encourage the Kititians to start planning your return. Start planning your return to help someone else. People, remember, we come here, we're born, we're not here forever. But you want to be able to, do something for yourself and to help somebody else. And when you're not here, you're able to make someone else happy. And until we start getting more of these kind of programs that can help our people, our young people, because a lot of our young people, we say that they're lost. But anybody will be lost if we're not taught. Come on, people. We did not born big, we're born small. So we really have to start teaching our young people. I see someone is commenting. Lord, I forget my glasses. I don't know what happened tonight, but I did. So I'm going to squint. Annette Frank is saying, great topic. What did the government put in place to encourage and accommodate returning nationals? And that's a very valid question. What did the government, and I would say governments, put in place? Because remember, government is continuous, right? So what are governments putting in place to encourage returning national? Are we still going by the same system? Is anything improved? Because I know as a returning national, they gave you up to 6 months and your vehicle supposed to be a certain amount of months or years, etc., before you can return that vehicle to get the tax off and all kind of nonsense. I think it's too hard when it comes to our dark-skinned people. We need to put better things in place for our people. And as you know, Kittians, we have more brown-skinned people down here, black people per se. And I'm not trying to cause any racism or anything. I'm just speaking my authentic, and it is reality. You come down to the Caribbean island, you're going to find more brown people. And it's time that we protect our brown people. Our people with hair that look like wool and stand up and those kind of things. It is time that we protect our people, teach them, bring forums that basically can help open the minds of many of our people and make our people come out of our shells and stop some of the things that we're worrying about. It's not that important. It is time, as somebody just mentioned, and it thanks what our government putting in place for to encourage our local people and that live abroad to come back home. And for me, government never really, whatever government had in place, I took it upon me and I come back here on my own. So I think that maybe what one of the other questions could consider, what are our people are doing to be encouraged to come back home? Yeah, that will be something very good because, if we have to depend on government for certain things, we're not going to get nowhere. But it is time that we start encourage our people to come back, reach out early and especially let your old friends, right, know the dates and all those kind of things when you're coming home. Sometimes people ain't got no friends, eh? Sometimes people really ain't got nobody. All you got is just you and God, and that's it. And your little plan what you have in your head, but you cannot give up. You cannot give up. I just had a conversation with Stiley Morris up there in America. And Stiley will already be a senior citizen. And he said, Lavi, I want to come back home. And this is what I'm talking about. There's a lot of people want to come back home. Because especially when you get older, some people live up in the cold, arthritis in to play with. There's a lot of people going through certain things. So even many will say, well, the hospital, of course we need a proper hospital. But also, there's a lot of people can come back home and they could go out in the yard and plant the bush, plant the tea bush, plant all kind of different kind of things, the herb and stuff like that. These are things that some people, depending on what part of the U.S. you are, some people could probably only have them in pots, maybe in their kitchen or maybe somewhere in the house. And some are lucky to still have them outside. But I, Lavi Gumbs, on the Real Talk with Lavi, I am encouraging people to love St. Kitts and Nevis where you was born. Celebrate St. Kitts and Nevis, because the more and more people move out of St. Kitts and Nevis and don't have any interest in their birthland, we are moving away and giving space for others to come up and take up. And then we make noise and say, if foreigners them this, the foreigners them that. But the foreigners them are appreciating what we don't want. The number to call is 466-0989. The U.S. line is 718-285-6984. Good evening again, Annette. I want to tell you thank you. She said, Lavi, keep an extra pair of readers in your desk. Just listen. I could tell you this much, right? I have them all over, Annette. But tonight, I really was rushing. I had some clients, and I did have the glasses, and I put it down. I normally have one extra one in my bag, This was just one of the days. And this is why I can speak about this, because thank you so much for this, Annette. It's going to come a time in our lives when we going to can't see too well. We going to can't hear too well. We going to can't talk too well. We going to can't walk too well. And stuff like that. You're here, you probably ain't gonna got no hair, you ain't gonna got no teeth, you ain't gonna got certain things. But the good thing is, why not do it now that we can? And this is why I said, let us bring on our authentic, teach people to be their authentic and love themselves. Love who you are while you can. Again, tonight's program is basically celebrating your birthland. Why it is very important to celebrate where you come from, right? And if you're out there basically want to make a move to St. Kitts, it is time. It is time to make time to think about it. Make time to plan your future if you can. And if you're out there in wherever you are, and you're getting knocked out, people are come back home. Come back home. There are people out here gonna open the arms for you. I'm not saying everyone, but it's not what you do, it's how you do it. There's so much jobs here in St. Kitts and Nevis to do. I was telling someone that I can't do everything, but I'm gonna throw out some things. Annette, if you're listening, maybe you could share this with somebody. So if you're male or female out there and you want a job in St. Kitts and Nevis, I know everybody run into the government and they run into this and they say they can't get no jobs, but there's a lot of jobs here in St. Kitts and Nevis. Like, for instance, there's a lot of beauty salons in St. Kitts and Nevis. That thing called Simperimary, I think that's what you call it, aloe vera. The Rastaman them use up the gum and they wash their hair with it. There's a lot of salons are looking for those kind of things. So that's another way to make money, just like how they go in and they get in the jelly and the coconut water. There's a lot of people are looking for Simperimary aloe vera, the natural aloe vera, to pong them up, or the cactus, pong them up and strain them and bring them in a gallon, one of the water gallon bottle, and sell them to the salons. There will be salons out there that wants them, because those are very good things that people can use. They're things that people can use and for the hair, for the skin. There's so many things they can do. I also sharpening of the scissors. Back in the days when I was growing up, my brother and some of my cousins, they used to cut here in the villages, and everybody lined up. They used to have a Bryson bottle or whatever kind of bottle, and they put the scissors and they sharpen it. That's another thing to go into, where people can get the right tools that can sharpen the machines, sharpen the scissors, and they can go around to the barber shops, they can go around to the hairdressers. You're going to get them. You're going to get, if you don't get a lot, from the time you get one, that's a good way to build. So there's a lot of things that people can just go and create jobs and just depending on the government, right? And this is why it's very important to encourage people to come back home. If you see what's going on right now, you have the free movement, people coming from all over the Caribbean island. I have never one day get up in my head and say, well, I going elsewhere to live in the Caribbean, besides maybe at the time the Virgin Islands or America. There's other people are coming to St. Kitts. There must be a reason why they're coming to St. Kitts. When they come to St. Kitts, they get the passport, they get married and wherever, and this is a good way. They leave from here, they can send to maybe wherever at the embassy to get their citizenship or get their little visa, and they're gone to the mainland. But right now, what's going on to the mainland? People want to stay in the Caribbean. There's a number of things. It's like the healing, the seawater, the beach. Yeah, there's a lot of people who have not even gone to a beach. It's always maybe a man-made beach. So I'm encouraging persons out there that will want to come back home, the importance as to celebrating where your roots go deep. All right? So where your roots go deep, surround yourself by families and familiar shores, and also the warmth, as I was telling you guys before, the warmth of the Caribbean life. That's the warmth. People are running like for the sun. And also, apart from the sun, we get that nice mountain breeze, fresh breeze. People are looking for all of that, for that island life that you can carry, right? You can carry that in your heart, and no matter where you are, you can just carry that. I was just looking at the Barbados Carnival. You see Spice and Rihanna and them over there. And what I like about Rihanna and the Barbados government, Rihanna has been the face for Barbados, the ambassador. And, you know, Rihanna do all kind of things. Rihanna practically strip naked. Rihanna, when she pregnant, she walk and she show her belly. And, you know, Rihanna is out there now trending again for her carnival, back to her roots. And she push back and she shake up she body. And her husband doing his little stabby. You know, the way how we enjoy ourselves down here, doggy style for carnival. Now, let that be Lavi Gumbs, Annette Franks, or somebody else from St. Kitts. They'll just say, oh, Lavi Gumbs. And they say all kind of things about Lavi Gumbs because I am proud of my body. Approaching 60 years old, happy in my authentic. And our people will put us down. Put you down for you being comfortable in your skin. But Rihanna, an ambassador, show all over, show her body parts and look good with it. And you hear nobody from Barbados, they welcome her because when Carnival done, Rihanna is active doing other things, promoting her country, but still being herself. And this is what I want to leave here before I leave this earth and before I leave St. Kitts and Nevis, to put this in the generation that is coming up. We must understand what is disrespect and also understand the importance of allowing people to be themselves. If we're not killing nobody, people let people be. And just focus on being ambitious and being a part of the growth of St. Kitts and Nevis, being able to build your country. Because other people coming in and building the country, some of them just come 1, 2, 3 days, 3 months, boom. Big house going up, big apartments going up. Right in front of all you. Okay then. This is what this person is saying, Lord, I can't see for sure. All right, Ross Jeffords. Good night, listening from Atlanta. Bless up, great message. Keep up the good works. Thank you so much for that. All right, Annette Frank is saying, Lavi, what is happening when you toss out of a job because associates claim you're too Americanized? Annette, I can actually feel you because you are returning national. And what is so sad, this whole Americanized thing, right? It's so funny that, as she said, we are being tossed out of a job because they think that we're too Americanized. But yet, the American people can bring their Americanized down here in their lighter skin complexion, and we accept it. But when it comes to people that the brown-skinned people with our big nose, our big lip, our look a kind of way, and they basically put us down. Again, Rihanna, and nobody come tell me, oh, Rihanna is a billionaire, because before Rihanna was a billionaire, Rihanna continued to be who she is, okay? And Rihanna is actually the face of the tourism and the government in Barbados, that she's also an ambassador. And that was a smart thing to do, right? And there's a number of people in St. Kitts could have been ambassador, right? There's a number of people could have been the faces of St. Kitts and Nevis. I feel and I know that I am the face of St. Kitts and Nevis along with other people. And I should have been more to use people like Lavi Gumbs, people like Annette Fanks, and many other people to be one of the faces and voices for our people. We should not have a country that is just coming up with a age barrier and say, well, you go home because you're old, and then keep the young people. How are they going to learn? Tell us, how are they going to learn? In life, we always have the mother, the father, the grandfather, the grandmother, the great-grand, and it continues and it continues. We have the aunties, the uncles, everybody cannot be the same. But when we have that whole roots and that backbone in our culture, in our families, in our people, we can only be better, bigger and better, brighter and wiser, and it goes on and on. Anytime you cut off people of experience and people who really have love and meaningful things to bring to our country, it's going to become a problem, and the people that is going to suffer is always the indigenous people and the youths. And what we're seeing here, we are definitely seeing a cutoff. There's no longer a village that wastes children helping, apart when it comes to the community. It boils down now just to politics. And until we break that barrier and realize that all of we are connected. We are connected in many, many ways. I don't let them fool you, even when it comes to the political. Everybody are connected. Family, friends, members, this, that. It's a cycle. It's a circle. Everybody connected. Just that people will have different choices as to which party preference. And some people ain't even got no choices because some people, they don't even feel comfortable with any one of the political groups. People got choices. So again, in order to build your country stronger and better, and be looking forward to see the best of our generation is to encourage people to come back home, celebrate where you're from, not just by family reunion. Another thing that I want to let people know, the importance, if you were born in St. Kitts and Nevis, people, listen up good on the Real Talk with Lavi. This is something that you have to instill in your children. Because if you don't, it's only those that are instilling in their children going to get piece of the soil, and the rest is going to be from the foreigners. Because the foreigners are coming in our island for a purpose. You can't blame them. When we leave from here, we go America, we go wherever, we go there for a purpose. We want to take a piece of their soil. We want to achieve, and many of us do. But we must remember where we came from and those that was a part of our journey. So I want you to listen up good. If you are born Kittitian, you have children, you don't have any children, people start encourage the young people to sign up to vote. Don't wait for a politician to sign you up. From the time you reach 18, you want to be able to get your voter's ID or resident ID, a driver's ID. Those three things are very important. It is okay when you turn 18. Children, young people, adults, wherever you are listening on the Real Talk with Lavi, encourage them to go and sign up to vote. It is very, very important. I know many people say, I ain't getting into politics. People, it's not a matter of getting in politics, but it's getting in what's happening in your country and learning who are our politicians, who are our leaders. And this is a way to help you. I don't know if we have enough land left, but this is a good way to get our children to sign up, because what's happening? Most of our children are not being born in St. Kitts. But even though they're not being born in St. Kitts, you can apply for citizenship for your children and your grandchildren, so that way they will be able to claim and get a piece of our beautiful sugar lands right here in St. Kitts and Nevis. We have to think beyond our nose. We have to think besides just worshiping the politicians. And this is why it's very important to bring back home and welcome home our diaspora, the persons that out in the diaspora, because sometimes when you travel out, you have a different mindset. You see things differently. You're more exposed and engaged to other things and other cultures as well. There's a number of persons that are born Kittitian and they have not had a voter's ID because they're not registered. A lot of them are not even registering for land. The name ain't down in nothing. So if a foreigner come into there tomorrow, the next, 2 years, they get residency, whoever they get married to, and their name become in the system because they're making sure they're going in the system. So when we are here depending on the politicians, and this is what a good community leader does. A good community leader don't just go out to say, well, vote for me. A good community leader will come on out and basically say, have you registered to vote? But not registered to vote because you don't tell them vote for you. Explain to them and tell them why the importance of registering to vote. Ask them if they have ever heard of NHC and sustainable development. And don't be like basically, what you want? You want this, you want that. You have to be able to want land. You have to be able to want a job, a better life, a quality life, and stop teaching our people for handout. And this is why it's very important to encourage people to come back home, because if we have other people from foreign that were born in St. Kitts, you can't fool them so easy. We have to break that crab in barrel cycle. And this is why I'm encouraging everyone to come back home. It is 8:45. I am Lavi Gumbs. If you're just in tune, people, share the live, share the page. Start encourage our people the importance of being back in our land. Persons that are here in St. Kitts and Nevis, it is very important to support your own. I know our own ain't easy, but remember, many of us have not been taught like that. And it is okay, because sometimes when you're hiding, me ain't gonna go up by Miss Jane because Miss Jane talk too much. But you all think the Spanish them don't talk? They speak it in Spanish, you just can't understand the language. You think the Asian them don't speak the little thing? You just ain't understand it. I sure some of the time if y'all can understand, they're in the chatting, are you? Yeah. So we have to kind of come out of all of that and look at the bigger picture. Support your own. There's so many people here in St. Kitts. They are trying. They really are trying. Our politicians should be supporting our indigenous people. Can't be too big to come in and get your big jobs, and you go out in the ghetto, you go out in the indigenous place to ask them for your vote, and you don't see them come back out there supporting them, buying from their shops, the goat water, the black pudding, just supporting them, going back, even to cut your hair, the barber shops. You can't come too big and just be going to certain places. This is why it's very, very important to encourage our local people to be able to come back home and be able to get appointments to see our community leaders. I have a friend just come in here some time ago, and they was looking to have an appointment with a certain person. I can't get an appointment, and the person was in St. Kitts. We need to do better. We need to do better with our people. Even in the banks, We need to encourage our local people. We cannot put our people in fear because you owe a little piece of money. Because sometimes some of the monies that we owe, it don't been a lot of money. It's things that can be fixed. There's a lot of people are dying from heart attacks, broken heart, because a lot of people are not strong enough. A lot of people are not taught that it's okay. If you owe somebody, you can, what you're going to do? Kill yourself? These things, because many people are not being themselves, they're basically afraid of what other people are going to say. And most of the time, the other people is our people. Our own people are not being supportive enough. If you see some of those other ways, they are investing back into their people. Some of them ain't no friends and no families, but they share one purpose, a national flag. So why we can't do that as Kittians? You have some Kittians have a lot of monies in the bank. And some of the money is what they have in the bank. They get it from somebody else. And they will never help somebody that is trying. But yet we go on out and we put down our people that are trying. We're putting down our people that are trying. Nobody come from Jamaica and Guyana. A lot of them ain't come with no bag of money. Matter of fact, some of them came to St. Kitts to cut cane. And the majority of them have big land and big houses and big businesses right in our rural communities. Are you going to blame them? No. Those people are focused. And a lot of them, they came from bigger countries, so they're more exposed and ambitious, driven than many of our small islands, because St. Kitts is very small. And this is why we need to be a little bit more lenient and forgiving to our people, because a lot of our people, they're not informed like that. Think about it. If our people was really informed, we would have been more of leadership, not waiting for politicians or pastors to be leaders, but rightfully being leaders. I know I am a leader. Let me see what this person is saying. Lord of X. May I bring my glasses in. Good evening, Miss Gwyneth Samuel. Years ago, Washington predicted that in St. Kitts and Nevis would have been, Lord, I feel bad, I can't even read it. Tough house, you want to help me? All right. Yes, Washington Archibald. Thank you for that. That's the late Washington Archibald. So he said years ago, Washington Archibald, he predicted, thank you so much for this. He predicted that St. Kitts and Nevis would have a leader from a next country. But we going to do nothing about it because Kittitians and Nevisians no longer want to see their own born. Yeah. Well, what I get out of that from Miss Samuel, Gwyneth, thank you so much for that. Someone was basically saying the late Washington Archibald, he predicted all of this years ago. And, whether it's the late Washington Archibald, whether it's Gwyneth Samuel, these are from way back when, the Marcus Garvey teachings, the Malcolm X, there's so many people would have basically, we go up on these teachings. But we got to be very careful that we're not just following the North America and other people teachings, but we must remember our own teachings. And this is why we are so disconnected, because we are now being taught that this person ain't nice because they ain't got no money. This person ain't good enough because they don't speak a kind of way. If you notice now, our children are literally going to certain schools, and because they're coming home and they're yanking, they think that they're better than the one that say, oh, me no know why you being on, put them down. But listen, these children that speak our colloquial dialect, we all have that. But we have seen many of them come up to be doctors and lawyers. Many of them come to be prime ministers. Dr. Llewellyn Douglas will tell you all about that. And that is why people love Dougie so much. Because when it comes to political figures, a figure, it's not so much of how intelligent you are, but it's how you're able to connect with the people, how you're able to relate with the people. And this is why Lavi Gumbs is encouraging foreigners when it comes to living in the diaspora who have real interest in St. Kitts and Nevis and want to see St. Kitts and Nevis better. Our people that born in St. Kitts that live overseas, come back home. It is time that we stop calling our people foreigners. Even up until now, if Lavi Gumbs go along the street, Lavi, man, you're here. When you going back, they got Lavi Gumbs as a foreigner. Our local people got me as a foreigner. But we ain't going out asking the West people when they come, when they're going back. And what we're seeing all over St. Kitts and Nevis, go over Frigate Bay, the big, big horizon, them going up. You go up Birdrock, the big, big horizons, them going up. You go this place, the horizon, them going up. The Asians them coming to our local people to buy out our houses because we ain't got the money, so we buy them, we sell them to next to nothing. And then you look, our children come up, our children ain't got nothing to go for. So our children are hitting the streets. When you look at it, you go on 4th Street, our young men, Paul crazy. They're losing it because the homes that they're coming from are not getting enough support. Are we going to blame just the mother? Are we going to just blame the grandmother, the woman? Are we going to blame all of us? Because it takes more than one to bring up a child and to raise a child. So we have to really look at ourselves and stop put down people because we figure that they ain't so and so, they ain't got a certain name. You got to be able to make your name. Lavi Gumbs come from Monkey Hill. Anybody know who Lavi Gumbs is? I was. But I sure made a name for myself from these hands. Lord, are you writing the thing? Me can't see, All right, Miss Ross Jeffords, thank you so much. Each one teach one. Facts. One time to stop the fighting against each other. It is time to stop the fighting. And that is why a lot of Kittitians and division now want to come back home. We left the crab in barrel and we come back to the crab in barrel. I personally feel that the politicians can do better. And in order for politicians to do better, the political parties need to appoint and select better candidates that really going to live up to what they say. We also need to make these candidates be community leaders. We need to see them in the communities because most of the influencers are more doing community work than many of these politicians and candidates on both opposition and in the government. And this has been happening all across the Caribbean islands. It has been happening, and you know why it's happening? Because our people, they will curse out Lavi Gumbs. They will curse you out for these politicians and then go home and suck salt. Imagine that, eh? How foolish are we? Okay, so Annette Franks again is saying, Lavi, I am involved in a crop cultivation. Oh, really? Nice. With a 4-acre of land in Newton Gong. But that's very good, Annette. We have a lot of fruits, vegetables, plants on it. Since last year, I applied to have my farmland leased renewed. To this day, no search, not a luck. So you didn't have any luck. Well, Annette, I would tell you is to keep the faith, continue to push on, and you're a fighter. As a woman, sometimes we're going to have to take our little feelings out because we ain't going to get everything that we want, You think Lavi Gumbs will get everything that she wants? But if I follow some of the haters and the small-minded nowadays, I wouldn't even be here today. I probably would on 6 feet. So we just got to continue pushing on, because every dog have its day. Nothing lasts forever. Good night to Miss Carmen. Pick up yourself. Good to see you. See, the Virgin Islands is in the house. We love Lavi. It is 8:57. I know you guys are just in tune. My show starts at 8 o'clock. It's finished at 9 o'clock, just 1 hour. I forget my glasses. Yeah. I just got to be real, right? I don't knock me for that, but I forgot my glasses. But nevertheless, I just want to let a lot of my people, wherever you are, people start spreading the word. You know, you live overseas, you're exposed to certain things. Share it back with your people that live in St. Kitts. Because at the end of the day, soon we're going to be approaching the next general elections. What's going to happen? You know, the foreigners come in and they cast the X and they go back out. It is time that we really know what is happening on the grounds, because when we come from foreign and come in and cast our X, living a comfortable life out there, and even if you're living such a good, comfortable life, there's a lot of different opportunities out there. You come down here, we got to be very careful as to what we're doing when we come in and making decisions in people on the grounds. Remember, the people that really cares for St. Kitts and Nevis, I don't care who have St. Kitts and Nevis passport, but the people that really cares from here, from the heart, and can speak for the heart, is a Kittitian and a Nevisian. A born Kittitian and Nevisian can speak for the heart. You could be a Jamaican and you're out there talking about St. Kitts this, St. Kitts that. Especially if you ain't come here from small as a baby, you're basically rehearsing or trying to memorize certain things. It's only a Kittitian by birth, live and raise and have culture, have common sense, and have some street smart. As they say, the school of hard knocks that can really, really represent St. Kitts. And too often these kind of people are being taken granted for. I would love to see the government that make Lavi Gumbs an ambassador, that make Annette Franks and other persons out there, put them in the rightful position. Everybody cannot get promoted. But there's a lot of people that are behind some of these political parties. Like I said, whether present government or opposition, they're not people's people. A lot of them are just vindictive, just waiting to remove a government to continue the same thing. The same tribal war, right? They're not coming with nothing new. It is time that we really get people in our islands that was born in St. Kitts and utilize them well. Before I leave here tonight, for instance, I do cosmetology. I remember a couple of years, I used to go to some of the schools. I was invited by Carly in Morton. I remember Val Jeffords, I think that's her name, Valencia Jeffords. I think she's a PS, maybe for sports or one of those things now, Val. And she will have been up at the William Connor School. And then you have some people down at Sandy Point, you had Keon and Sadlers. And all those principals would have called me in to come down there and basically, give a little cosmetology. And I have been in St. Kitts for almost 3 years, and not one of those schools have called Lavi Gumbs. I have actually called the Clarence Fitzroy Bryant College. I have called a number of places. Some of them don't even answer back your calls, right? And this is why a lot of our local people that live abroad, they don't want to come back, because if you're not political, and even if you're political assigned, right? You have just some people in there just don't need to be in some of these places because they're not making it any better for our people, growth and development. But again, I just got to let you guys know it is time for me to make my exit. And this is Lavi Gumbs, the Real Talk. As I continue my journey, it's going to be my authentic. And we're going to be watching the election watch coming up soon. Just so we can see other persons. Just so we can see other people. Sorry about that, guys. Just so we can see other people doing the analysis from all over. Lavi Gumbs, I think I have enough experience. I've been almost, 7 elections, and I have made my contribution in many ways. And I will be following the upcoming elections, and of course, I will be doing it in a positive way. So I just got to let you guys know that I just want to be a part of the best of St. Kitts and Nevis. And in order to do that, we have to come together and remember where you came from. People start, I know sometimes some people don't have the cell number to call maybe on WhatsApp where you are, but you're going to have to try and make ways, because many people went away for decades and they want to find ways to come back in. That's why they should have made Lavi Gumbs an ambassador. An ambassador is more than being political, but it's basically who the people know and who the people can reach and who that ambassador can reach in a positive light. That is why Barbados was smart. They put Rihanna, and Rihanna could go to her clap over, skin out her bum, bubble her bum, do all kind of things. And nobody talking about that, because Rihanna have a life besides carnival and crap over. It is time we kind of stop looking at people and judge people just for being happy and smiling and having a vibes. It's a different era. And this is how we have to be able to reach our young people. And this is how Lavi Gumbs going to say good night. And thank you so much for being a part of the Real Talk with Lavi. And each and every Wednesday night, this is what we bring here. We bring on our authentic and helping people to celebrate St. Kitts and Nevis. Have a wonderful night.